Okay. Sorry for that delay, I'm just making sure everything is correct. YouTube is really weird about its new streaming setup. Yes, I was testing something. YouTube is dumb. YouTube is dumb, that's all. Let's not worry about that. Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. After a long time of waiting, we've had some upgrades. I am now using a new computer, so hopefully this stream will stay nice and healthy. It will look gorgeous, and yeah. Let's see here. The intro to Lostbelt 3. How long has it been since I left the colony of survivors? I managed to keep a log for the first 30 days, but now it just feels like I've lost the ability to keep track of time. In my defense, it's hard to count the days when we don't have nights anymore. Huh. Oh right, it all blurs together. I still have no idea how things got to this point, but what I can say for sure is that somehow the sun is shining on every corner of the world at once. Yeah, that's how I save all of my experience cards. I'm waiting for Consort U. Do you have sound for yourself now? Can you not hear me? Wait, please tell me you can hear me. I'll wait until I get a confirmation that you can hear my voice. That scares me. I don't know what B-Daman is. What? Okay, someone's comments scared the shit out of me. It hasn't been the first time. Alrighty. With everything bleached white as far as the eye can see, you get numb to time as well as distance. My food and water are starting to run out. Once they do, that'll be it for me. At least my old motorcycle is still purring like a kitten. Whose motorcycle? I never expected this solar generator to work this well or for this long. What are you eating out here? Is there even food? It proved you can ride an old motorcycle from Australia to North America as long as you have a surface to ride on and a solid engine. What do you mean, how far behind is this stream? I don't know what you mean. I need that to be more clear. All I drive over seems to be endless white wasteland. No, maybe wasteland isn't the right word. It's more like pavement without so much as a single crack or seam to be seen. It's nothing like a desert either. There's just nothing here. I don't even get that natural sort of austerity wastelands give off. You didn't miss anything. I just started. Yay! When we get the full gameplay? I don't have the full gameplay. That was edited for entertainment. How do you get those command seals in your name? Those are channel members. They are supporting me financially for as little as $1. Up to 50. It's the same as my Patreon stuff, but if you go through YouTube, that's one of the perks for YouTube. Otherwise, it's the exact same, like, real benefits. Early access, lessons in Magecraft, all of that stuff's accessible in the same, whether you use Patreon, Subscribestar, or YouTube. It's not so much that it seems like life's died out, as that it never existed to begin with. Case in point, I've not seen a single sign of death or decay this whole time. Not a single corpse, no plants, no animals, no insects. Not so much as a microbe. This isn't a dead world, it's an empty one. There's nothing. Not even bacteria to make food spoil. It feels clean. Too clean. I have not read notes yet. Never mind that last bit. I must be a bit more tired than I thought. I'm getting overly sensitive. I can see an unnatural shape just up ahead. Probably more remnants. I think I'll rest here today. Maybe there'll be even more food left if I'm lucky. Remnants, in this case, are areas that somehow escaped the reset, or, well, more places that remained in part despite being reset. The colony I left behind was situated in one such remnant. If any satellites were still intact, we might have even been able to find and connect with other survivors. Not that it would have made us any less powerless to fix all this. After all, if that tree were to attack again, humanity would be well and truly gone. I have no idea who we are right now. Survivors, 0. Signs of people having been here, 1. A single message. No food, sadly, but any port in a storm. Besides, just seeing the artifacts of civilization like this again does wonders for my morale. Even if it is gutted ruins from a brutal invasion. David? David, huh? I shrug my shoulders as I sit down on what used to be a sofa. The shrug is just a desperate ploy to convince myself I'm calm, but strangely it still helped. I play back the only message data to be found. It is essentially the same as all the others out there. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Itayo. Why? No, 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 help me, help me, help me. Please, please forgive me. I know not what I do. There it is again. Why? Why were these people attacked? Why were they erased? I did my best to recall that day calmly and objectively. The year when Earth fell to invaders from another world. I'm mainly going for Assassin U. Truth be told, we had time to prepare. Maybe it was only 12 hours, but it was still time that we could have used. On that New Year's Eve, we lost every satellite around the world in an instant. Poof. In consequence, we were not able to observe a single cosmic ray, even as the whole world was reduced to a blank, dust-gray sphere. I know now that it was a membrane in the sky, a dome of sorts made by the tree's branches that was placed over the entire world. But we weren't exactly in a position to sit down and take stock of what happened on that day. Not with all the crazy things going on. 12 hours later, Armageddon. A total slaughter. A massacre on an unimaginable scale. Uncountable tree things descended on the Earth, like so many tentacles from space. They crawled across the world, finding and exterminating all forms of life with unerring accuracy and unnerving tenacity, killing almost every human on the planet over the course of 3 months. After that, the trees just disappeared, returning to the sky and leaving behind a blank, desolate world. Even now, thinking about it makes me tremble. Not at the revelation that aliens really did exist, not even the realization that our world, our civilization, had been erased and would never return. No, what scarred me was those trees' tenacity. The way they extended their branches to destroy a person's heart with a single stabby stab. Upon their death, people would instantly turn to dust, their agonizing screams still echoing around them. There were no exceptions. Even though these aliens possessed weapons of mass destruction large enough to blot out the sky, they chose not to use them. Instead, they went out of their way to erase billions upon billions of people, one at a time. They were like some kind of twisted artisan burning with perverse passion for their craft. Those of us who did survive, like myself, only managed to do so by being in hidden underground facilities at the time. The tentacles cannot reach you here! Dizziness starts to overwhelm me. Maybe I've been under a bit more strain than I realized. I'll just rest up here for today. Tomorrow I'll set back off on my journey of wishful thinking. I may not have much food left, but assuming I've stayed on track, I should be at my destination soon. It's the last place any of our satellites caught on camera. The only place in this whole world that hasn't been wiped clean, an area in southern Nevada. That's right, my destination is the Air Force base known as Area 51. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Signed, David Blue Book. Hey, could you tell me how much my car's worth? Intro 3.2222. Did we dive into a whole other world when I wasn't looking? It was nothing but clear skies as far as the eye could see just a moment ago. Now, I've got an announcement of my own. I estimate the border has about an hour until it sinks. Yeah, just one problem. There's no land to go back to. We're smack in the middle of the North Sea. Da Vinci, can we still initiate a zero sail here? Surely that must be preferable to sinking to our deaths. We can't. The formulas won't be stable enough on water. We'd have to rewrite the software from scratch. Hang on, we're getting a call. Go ahead and open up a line, Mr. Manuel. And hurry, Da Vinci's no use to us right now. Right, on it. CQ, this is the Wandering Seas dock. Do you read me? That vessel, that would be Chaldea's ship, right? No, wait, not a ship. Oh, I see, a tank. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, what the hell? Ah! Sorry, let me reread that. Fuckity fuck. I gotta be careful, I guess my hand was resting on the tablet screen. I'm sorry. Rational, yes. Very rational. A ship is unnecessary for a zero sail, but I say you have no sense for design. It might as well be a large metal coffin. Nothing charming there at all. Be honest. You would never have made it back without my paper moon, would you? Still a fine job making it all the way here. Everything is proceeding within my calculations. It's coming from the Wandering Sea, but where? Where? Right in front of you. Oh, hang on. Let me clear the fog. It should be easier to see then. Proceed to your current course, though you may want to reduce your speed and be sure to give thanks. Alright, this will be the first time in over 2,000 years that this island has revealed itself on a day other than December 31st. Welcome to the Primordial Magecraft Workshop, the Baldanders of the Wandering Sea. My name is Sion Eltnam Socaris. I am a Spiritron hacker who escaped the Wandering Sea when I predicted that the world was about to end. I have been waiting for you. Being the Atlas Institute's last remaining member, the Wandering Sea higher-ups entrusted me with the project of righting this bleached Earth problem. That's a big task to just give to one other person. Okay, I know that was just a minute ago, but... Well, we followed the directions that bizarre transmission gave us right to this lump of rock. Now can you tell me what this is about, Da Vinci? I'm glad the border isn't bobbing around like a damned cork. But have we been sinking these last few minutes, or haven't we? I have the same question. It seemed to me like the border sank underwater before it emerged on the surface. Don't look at me, I didn't do anything. Once we got to those rocks, it felt like the currents kind of carried the border the rest of the way. Looks like. I tried to steer us, but the currents were just too strong. The border sank about 40 meters, but then popped up a good 30. I think we must have gotten into that wandering sea from underneath, since I didn't exactly see a front door. Perhaps that is how they go about docking ships here. Or how they keep ordinary ships anyway. How they keep ordinary ships away. Sounds right to me. I just wish she'd given us a little heads up. Does that mean we can go outside now? Hello, everybody. That would appear to be the logical conclusion. The issue at hand, however, is... Are we sure this is the Wandering Sea? And how do we know it's safe outside? Minware, fire up every sensor we've got. I want to know everything going on outside the border. Roger, but I've already been doing that. I'm not picking up anything at all. Not a damn thing. Ugh. Testing. Can you hear me over there? I'm afraid the Wandering Sea cannot be observed by any means created by or relying upon science. Not even partially. I would give up on trying to see what's going on outside that hunk of metal you've been riding around in. None of your sensors will see anything here. Besides, danger is a no-no here, and there's no way there would be anything wrong with my calculations. Right now, this is the most peaceful, happiest, scariest island in the whole world. How could it be powerful and scary? Do you play Little Nightmares? No, I don't know what that is. Da Vinci! Is Heaven's Feel 3 really out? Yeah, it's been playing in some theaters. I managed to see it last night. It was fantastic! However, yeah, a lot of theaters are closing around, like, Friday, because they just updated, they level red theaters in the US. So, it was crazy. Yeah, I've played through all of Lostbelt so far on stream. Who's your favorite type of what? I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean like Type Moon and stuff like that? I don't have an opinion. There's not enough of them. Have I played the Trails games? I really should, but no, I haven't. That's not true. I played Trails in the Sky long ago and never finished it. Is it dubbed? Not yet. No. At any rate, come on out, visitors. I did not open my darling secret base today just so you could hole up in that big metal box of yours. Well, what should we do now, everyone? Since our sensors are blind, someone's gotta have to take one for the team and poke their head outside. I nominate Holmes. Agreed. You can always use your Baritsu if things get dicey. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I actually can't use Baritsu just yet. At this point, I dare say you could outfight me, Director. Good point. Holmes is going to need more time to recover from the injury he sustained in Scandinavia. Do you support Buff Summer Tomoe? I don't know how to answer that. I don't think there were intros for anything other than the major prologue, but it's been a while. And this interlude bit with the Wandering Sea is pretty important. So, then, as the only combat-ready servant here, I should be the one to... Let's go say hi together, Mashu. Right, I was just thinking the same thing, Master. Master's not a pussy. Foo! They just have one, depending on what you choose. Well, then I'm coming too. I'm way too curious to just stay on the border. Friend or foe, the Wandering Sea is still a mystic among mystics. No way would I pass up a chance to check out the place that still has mystics from the Age of Gods. You're better off not getting mixed up with those places if you ask me. They even say that the clock tower's an inhospitable hell when you get right down to it. I see you plebs know your place. In your own way. You're quite right, Minware. One should never move past one station to peer into the secrets of magecraft or the organizations that keep them. The moment you do, you'll be so shocked at how vastly they overpower you that you may find yourself bedridden and half mad for a month. It's all risk and no reward. Curiosity isn't what killed the cat, it was fear. You got Parvati but no Arish. I wouldn't mind Parvati. I know I wasted a shit ton of quartz on her before and never got her. However, as we humans are not cats, it is possible to overcome those fears much like I did. I've got balls of steel. Mashu Kirilite, Sarah? I hereby authorize the two of you to investigate whatever lies outside. Once you're certain that there's no danger, call for me right away. Oh, and try to stick close to the border, would you? You should be no more than a 5-second sprint from here at the most. Okay. We are going to Magic China, but not just yet. I guess we're working our way to there. Alright, I'm going to open the border's port hatch now. Are you ready, Master? All set here. I've got your backs. It may not be much use in a fight, but I can still damn make sure nothing gets by my defenses. Thank you, Da Vinci. Opening the hatch now. Number one servant I'm saving for this year? Well, there's not much left of this year, so right now that would be Consort U. Which should be very, very, very soon. I've been waiting for her for a while. It's incredible! Wow, this place is amazing! Look, Mashu, look, Sarah! Oh, this is like top-shelf secret base stuff. It's like a picture book come to life. Whoever designed this must have been such a dummy. Why? Thanks for the kind words. I must be doing pretty well if the great Leonardo da Vinci, famous genius and notorious problem child, would speak like that about me. Wait, is that really Da Vinci? Isn't she a little off? Too girly? Just a little too high-spec? Hey, you there, Master Sarah. Is that girl there really and truly Leonardo da Vinci? I sure am. I'm a Da Vinci backup unit made by the one and only Leonardo da Vinci herself. What about you? Are you the girl who contacted us? Oh, right. I was so surprised by, Girl Da Vinci here, or Girl Vinci here, that I forgot my manners. Cut. And take two. I am Sion Eltnam Sakaris, an alchemist here to mess with you guys on behalf of the Atlas Institute. Oh, I also made Trismegistus and the paper moon you were manhandling just a few minutes ago. So I am here to collect damages you owe me for copyright infringement. It totals to about $790 million. So? Yeah, you guys are boned. Whatever human rights you think you had are gone. Do you know what this means, Sarah? It means I own you. Lock, stock, and barrel, baby. So, mind just signing this contract here for me? I hereby confess to using Miss Sion's intellectual property without express permission. I also absolutely saw the end of humanity and such. Therefore, until repayment of said aforementioned unrepayable debt, I, Sarah, do hereby offer up the following. My body, my soul, and each and every one of my worldly possessions, past, present, and future, throughout the universe, to Sion. There you go. Mind just signing here, 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 and here? Initial there, too. Say, mind being modded. Are you into mecha? Bioengineering? A mixture of both? Ah, what the heck, we can just throw them all in. Do not worry, it will not hurt at all. Wait. What? Just kidding. You do not owe me anything. I was only messing with you. Besides, I was using old Zimbabwean dollar values, so you could totally have paid it back anyway. Foo-foo. Sorry, I might have gotten a little carried away there. You will have to forgive me. I've never actually done this before. I know I sort of struck first, so to speak, when I contacted you earlier. So I was being all formal to try and put you at ease. But as you can see, I'm not really like that. Just your everyday, mild-mannered alchemist here. That makes sense. You spoke so fast I didn't realize it right away. But there's no way anyone from the Atlas Institute would be so quick to pull out a contract. I see. An advanced technique designed to better break the ice during our first encounter. I get the feeling she's not one for lying. Alright, let me introduce myself again. My name is Sion. Welcome to the Wandering Sea, Chaldeans. Leonardo da Vinci, Mashu Kyrielite, Sarah, and... I did not see the animal mentioned in any of our data. I wonder if he is someone's familiar. I can sense a modicum of intelligence from it, like an AI that just started learning. Oh well, no problem. I already have a pretty good idea of who you guys are. I have not seen what has become of the outside world myself, but I do know what happened to Chaldea on the first day of 2020. Fucking 2020. You haven't seen the outside? Does that mean you have no immunity to the atmosphere? Oh no, I'm completely healthy. You have to be in good shape to use my memory partition. At a halfway decent level, after all. I just meant I did not have a need to go outside. Sorry for the misunderstanding, Mashu. So who is in charge right now? From what information I have, it should be Da Vinci here, but given she has the whole kid thing going on, I assume this is no longer the case. I must have a gap in my information somewhere. Better get that sorted. I'm impressed you picked up on that. You look like a girl, and it would seem that you are in fact something of a girl. Indeed, the master/amateur mage, the demi-servant girl, and the capable technical advisor are merely my subordinates. Who am I? Why, you surely need not ask. I am Porker, Chaldea's new director and the man who will one day resurrect the golden age of the prestigious music estate, Gordolf Music. I see you're surprised that I'm still alive. I know that crest and that uniform. It would seem you are truly a mage of the Atlas Institute. That means it should have been absolutely trivial for you to predict the terrible tragedy that befell my Chaldea with your fancy parallel thought acceleration. I am keenly aware of how I fell for Koyanskaya's devious scheme, and so inadvertently allowed the cryptors to carry out their plan. No doubt I was the first one to be killed off in Atlas's prognostications. The quickest way to ensure planned success is to take out your opposition's genius commander, after all. But as you can see, I survived. For no matter how poor the road conditions, how dire the weather, or how far behind I may be, I will never retire before the race is over. Ah, you're Gordolf, right? I'm not surprised you're still alive, given your specs. Huh? You're not? Your odds were not great, but they were also not zero. I figured you would make it out there as long as you had solid help and backup. No, it was the servant behind you that surprised me. Would you mind telling me your name? Oh yes, I do beg your pardon. I was preoccupied with keeping our new director safe since he insisted on venturing out to see what was going on himself. I am Sherlock Holmes, a ruler. As you are the successor of the great Atlas Institute, I trust that is all the introduction you need. Wait, you already know who I am? Even for a famed detective, it seems just a little suspicious that you already know that much about me. Elementary, my dear Sion. Your middle name, Eltnam, tells me all that I need to know. From there, all I need to do is contrast your behavior with our current situation, and the answer all but presents itself. You're just quoting from her file. Now, don't go giving the game away, Miss Sarah. You touched Trihermes? Ah, now I see. That must have been during the Sixth Singularity. I read about that in the report to the Mages Association. So you managed to touch Trihermes directly without losing your mind, huh? Really now. No wonder you're the pinnacle of intelligence among servants. You and I are going to get along just fine. Come on, Sion. How much time are you going to waste talking? You want me to give this ship a tune-up, right? Hurry up and get the crew off it already. Oh! Oh, I know who you are! Gee. What, do I have something on my face? You're kind of rude, aren't you? Hello, nice to meet you. All that magical energy, are you a servant? Does this mean the Wandering Sea is also capable of summoning servants? Yeah, I snuck a peek at Chaldeia's system, came up with my own take on it, and somehow managed to summon a single servant. I needed someone who could watch my back and also make sure I would not break it. I mean, I could draw up blueprints all day on my own, but what good is that if nobody actually builds any of it, right? I'm still amazed that you can manage to summon a heroic spirit somewhere besides Chaldeia. Hello there, servant from the Wandering Sea. My name is Mashu Kyrielite. May I ask who you are? You don't have to tell me your true name. I'm no one. I don't have a name. If you have to call me something, just call me Nameless. Liar! Liar! Now get everyone out of here, Sion. I can't call everyone else with all these people in the way. This is painful to look at. It's worse than watching coral reefs die. The final boss of FGO? I don't know. Like, I know the identity of the alien god and all, but... yeah, I can't say. That's not Nameless. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know enough, Gundam. What happened to the ship? I can hear it crying in pain. I need to fix it now before I go insane. Whoops, looked like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed today, huh, Captain? Oh well, I guess I'm unable to blame you since you're even shyer than me. Captain? Is that some sort of joke? Are you mocking me? Well, what else can we call you? Would you prefer Prince? Fine, I guess Captain works since we have more guests now. At least it's better than Prince. See, I only know, again, a lot of Captain Nemo stuff from the anime, Nadia, Secret of Blue Water. I love that show. In that, Captain Nemo had a big beard and mustache of sorts. Actually, he at least had the mustache. And he was like... He was Atlantean, right? That's what the whole deal was. He was from Atlantis, so maybe that's what they're referring to with, Prince? Don't know. See, I like what Fate's take already is on, fucking... Angermine, sorry. Because he's a dude that is being influenced by all the evils in the world, but he himself was just, you know, kind of a dude. They're in the walls. Nemo is fused with Trident. Trident. I don't know enough about Trident. Ah, in the original tale, Nemo is an Indian noble. Aha, gotcha. Nightwish. I haven't heard them in a long time. Musashi noises. What are Musashi noises? I want to hear some Musashi noises. Anyway, it would seem you added something to that servant spirit origin, am I correct, Miss Sion? Yeah, a phantom spirit. One cannot summon a decent heroic spirit without Mashu's shield, you understand? Since I was missing powerful holy relics like that, I had to make do with whatever I could, scrounge together to make his spirit origin. But do not ask me to reveal his true name. Sorry. That is something a servant should choose to do. Once Captain trusts you guys, I'm certain his identity will become clear. Anyway, right now, it's just me and Captain here. I promise there's nobody else around, so feel free to bring the rest of Shadowborder's crew along. That's kind of weird. You would think there'd be more people in the Wandering Sea. Oh, Triton. Not... King Triton, I know. That I know. I have prepared a room for the staff where they can relax and rest up, but I'm afraid I'll have to ask you all to join me for a little longer. I can imagine how exhausted you must be, and would love to sleep in a proper bed, but that must wait. This is just the entrance, see? Come on, I will take you to the command room. Yeah, Musashi can like whatever she wants, I suppose. Ah, Poseidon's son. Whoa. Oh! It's... Chaldea's command room? Yeah, I see how you could make that mistake, Sarah, but a mistake it would be. Chaldea's command room was actually modeled after this place. This is the masterpiece I have been assembling day and night for the last 3 months, ever since I first came to the Wandering Sea. I call it Spiritron Calculation Engine Trismegistus II. A perfect reproduction of the Trismegistus I lent to Chaldea, in the new brains of your operation. You don't say. You said you've been assembling it, so that must mean you brought the necessary materials along with you when you came here? Between the paper moon and all this groundwork you've been laying, you're obviously no ordinary mage. Sion Eltnam Socaris. It looks to me like you know even more about Chaldea than we do. Yeah, a lot of what I know comes before Chaldea really even got off the ground. As you know, the pseudo-Spiritron calculation engine, Tri-Hermes, is the heart of the Atlas Institute. My father, the head of Atlas at the time, was supposed to create Tri-Hermes' sister unit, Trismegistus, before its development was handed off to me. I proposed using Paper Moon-based zero sales as a method for sending people into the past. Well, into singularities, anyway. But Chaldea's first director, Marisbury, had a different idea for a more reliable method. His proposal was the process he called ray shifting, that involved transmuting physical bodies as spiritrons. It was a more proactive approach, given that it was closer to the Atlas Institute's prognostication. Not exactly the most cautious proposal, all told, but the fact that a mage like him was willing to reveal his most secret arts like that spoke volumes. I mean, if word had gotten out that Animasphere family, one of the 12 Clock Tower Lords, was sharing technology with Atlas, it would have meant war with the other lords, leading ultimately to the end of the Animaspheres. Director Marisbury understood the seriousness of the risks, and chose to act anyway. So the Atlas Institute decided to accept Chaldea's request, out of respect for the risks he took. Of course, none of the other lords ever did figure out what Marisbury was up to, so it ended up not really being a thing. Anyway, you all know what happened next. We provided Chaldea with Trismegistus, which enabled Chaldea to complete Chaldeus. And the Chaldea Security Organization went on to do what it was intended to. I'm certain you all know more about Chaldea's actual exploits than I do. We were just the ones who gave you the tools to get things rolling. Indeed, we do know about Chaldea's connection to the Atlas Institute. We do not, however, know about you. How did you survive the reset of the world? And why were you waiting for us here in the Wandering Sea? Took the words right out of my mouth. You have a thing for asking questions you already know the answers to, huh, Sherlock? Are you obliged to? Will you die otherwise? I suppose since you're being so meticulous and all, I can go ahead and tell you what we already know, or you already know. Answer the first. I escaped the reset. I escaped the reset because I was in the Wandering Sea. The Wandering Sea is like its own little singularity, It's always drifting between the world's textures. That kept it safe, even while the world was being wiped clean. Answer the second, I came to the Wandering Sea because I predicted this future. Trihermes collects, organizes, and makes records of a ton of data about Earth, just like Chaldea's. It is like a huge sea of information, all there for the taking. For alchemists like us, it might as well be our own primordial soup. I was just taking a little dip in that sea, without my father knowing, of course, when I ended up arriving at that prediction. In short, I was not sure how, but I knew the world would cease to exist in 2020. It was the biggest dilemma of my life, to say the least. I knew I had to do something, so I told my father about my prediction. But that theater reject excuse for the great head of Atlas told me was, "I see humanity ending every day. Don't waste my time with trivialities like this. Besides, you discovered this problem, my darling Sion. Don't you think you should be the one to solve it?" And that was when it really hit me just how understaffed the Atlas Institute really was. Every person there had their hands full stopping some version of the end of the world that they had seen. Yup. The Nasuverse is filled with world-ending scenarios. While I'm at it, have a little bonus. Answer the third, the moment I made my decision. I know, I will go to the Wandering Sea. So I took the parts I was using to make Trismegistus II and used them to build a Hermes instead. Then knocked on the Wandering Sea's front door. By doing so, I secured a safe haven for both myself and future collaborators. 2 birds, 1 stone. I was certain that no matter how things unfolded, Chaldea was going to get knocked out of commission. It would be too important for our unknown invader. There are pretty much 2 ways the world can end. Gradually and suddenly. Usually things would go gradually, progressing in stages until the lights go out, so to speak. There are leaders all around the world doing their best to identify those scenarios and keep them at bay. Meanwhile, the sudden types are more like traffic accidents, where everything happens all at once. Not much one can do, no matter how smart. For that sort of thing, ray shifting was all we had to fight back. And what is happening right now, with the world bleached white thanks to invaders from outer space, is no exception. Thus, anyone meticulous enough to put together a plan like this would never overlook Chaldea, seeing as you were the only ones capable of ray shifting. I certainly would not. If I were trying to destroy Earth, Chaldea would be right at the top of my hit list. In fact, taking it out would be my opening move. Sorry, I should have kept that to myself. So even though I had a base to fight back from, there was still not anything I could do on my own. I mean, I did not know who was attacking, or how they would do it. So really the only thing I could do is put my trust in you guys. If these invader things saw you as that big of a threat, I was sure you could prove there was a reason for that. I knew you would survive, and you would not give up, no matter how bad things got. So knowing that you would fight back, my task got a lot simpler. I would make you a new base. I would create a second Chaldea for you, and keep it ready and waiting. That was really the only answer I could come up with at the time. And now, even though you had no idea about any of this, you made it here. And that is all I have. Thanks for listening. You believed in me. Ah, stop. You're gonna make me blush, but thanks, Sion. This is probably where the last versions of me would say you should have actually gotten in contact with us ahead of time, but... Are you crazy? I'm far too shy for that. Besides, if you tell people their future, you end up changing that future and having to come up with a whole new plan from scratch. Exactly. It would have taken time to recalculate, and we almost certainly did not have any time to spare. So I decided this was the best course of action. Okay, that makes sense. But that still doesn't explain some things. Like, why are there no other mages from the Wandering Sea here? They avoided the big reset just like you did, right? Why is it just you and Captain now? Oh. They did not think this blank Earth thing was their problem, just as my father did not. No, if anything, they were even worse. They honestly did not care if post-80 humanity lived or died. Right when this whole bleaching thing started, and the cryptors were giving their victory speech, they said, "You are the ones who should do something about this cataclysm. We no longer care what happens to human civilization. We do understand the attackers' ideals, but regardless, we do not share them." Then they just shut up and left. Oh, but before they did, they also said, "You may invite the mages of Chaldea here if you wish. Feel free to use the Wandering Sea, but only in specified areas." Penthesilea had other Amazon sisters, yes. Such as Hippolyta, who she's pissed that Heracles killed. But take care not to enter our workshop. We can't promise you'll survive the experience. Anyway, this place used to be the Wandering Sea's entrance, so it connects to a workshop devoted to bringing back several different ages of gods. Not that that does us much good now, though since it has that giant stone gate blocking it. I see. So the Wandering Sea's most prominent figures saw no value in post-AD humanity. No matter, the Wandering Sea's magecraft is magecraft from the Age of Gods. There's no telling how powerful it is. We must find some way to open that stone gate and get them to help us. Mr. Gordolf? So they're here, they're just hiding. Don't be ridiculous, Holmes. You shouldn't even be looking at that gate, let alone touching it. Oh, God. It's as if the Academy principal is waiting for me just behind this gate. They're pretty weird words, though. How can this be happening? That single gate feels as though it could shatter several lords at once. I don't know what he's on about, but he's clearly more terrified than I've ever seen him. So it may be best if we leave that gate alone. The last thing we need right now is making more enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and get some water. If you don't mind, I'll be right back with some water. My throat's all grower. I'm gonna drink! Yes, there was a doggo. Did she bark? I don't know how you knew it was a doggo. So it may be best if we leave that gate alone. The last thing we need right now is making more enemies. The first order of business is to get to the shadow border repaired. As long as we have a working ship, we can leave the Wandering Sea behind whenever we want. I appreciate the offer, Sion, but I'll handle the border's repairs myself. We don't want to impose on... Hey, Da Vinci! I'm sorry, I tried to hide the border like you told me to, but they still managed to find me. So much for our last bit of insurance. How did you screw up this time, Manware? How could they have found that room when I'm the only one who knew it existed? Well, a bunch of them got in the border, and they were really cute, so before I knew it, I was going over to say hello. Wait, no, it's not like that. See, I couldn't have them fiddling with the border and messing things up, so I decided to give them a piece of my mind. Sorry, you'll have to forgive, Captain. Fixing up ships is kind of his thing. Anyway, why not hold off on those repairs until later, Da Vinci? After all, there's something else we need to do. Well, like a welcome party? Oh, we will certainly be doing that. I have tons of questions for you, and tons more I want to tell you. But if we're going to throw a welcoming party, there is still something else that comes first. That's right. What you need is a new base and new rooms. So that is what we are going to make right now. Your new Chaldea base. Woo! Woohoo! Yeah, who's cute? I want to see the cute person. Oh! Hooray! Who's even in the summoning queue anyway? Oh. Oh, I love them. I love them, but I already have them. But considering this computer is certainly doing a hell of a better job than my other one, I'll definitely be doing a lot more live streaming. Yay! So, yeah. I'm thinking about playing, whatchamacallit, the new One-chanbara. The remake. I'm afraid so. Skahak Skadi has been defeated, and her Tree of Emptiness is gone, taking the Scandinavian Lostbelt with it. Tragically, Ophelia didn't make it either. Spare us the performance, Goyenskaya. It makes me detest you even more than Chaldea. Oh my, you saw right through me. How embarrassing. And here I was, going above and beyond to pay my respects to a fallen comrade by turning on the waterworks to go with the lip service. After all, Ophelia was one of my most important clients. That jewel-rank mystic eyes of hers was a real beauty. Completely wasted on her, though. A textbook example of how one can have too much of a good thing. If she only agreed to let me have the eye before it got ruined, I would have done everything in my power to help her stay alive. Okay, so what are the antagonists trying to accomplish? Well, that's actually a really good question. We know that they have been tasked by the alien god to preside over these Lostbelts and have them compete against each other for the proper place for this alien god to awaken. That's mainly the idea. But why these guys who wanted to protect humanity this whole time by joining Chaldea's Team A, why did they choose to all of a sudden betray humanity in that regard? And I think their motivations differ with each person, but a lot of it is also them following Kirstario Wodim, so we'll need to know more about his ass. I certainly know why Hinako Akta here is going to go through with it. No, I did not know that. Kind of like a Holy Grail war, except they're all in on it, which is weird. I see. Well, then I suppose it wasn't a total loss. Just the thought alone of you in possession of that eye is enough to turn my stomach. My, Akta. I'm surprised to hear you grieving over Ophelia's death, given what a misanthrope you are. Is this one of those don't know what you've got till it's gone things, or were you always secretly fond of her? Not that it is any comfort to her either way. See, the thing about friendships between girls is, they're all about supporting each other just as long as there's also something in it for them. It doesn't matter how much she might have disliked me, I was at least there for her once in a while. I actually tried to help her with her problems, but you? All you did was sit back and watch. So where do you get off suddenly acting like she was so precious to you? You didn't do anything, so you don't get to say anything. Isn't that common sense in human society? Hinako is good. Civilization. So, I guess I'll ask you guys this question, because I have the lore of Yu Miaoyi, which tells basically the plot of this third Lostbelt. I was going to release her on Friday, aka tomorrow. Or should I wait till next week when the actual Lostbelt 3 will be available? What do you feel? It could be either one. I could swap it, because right now I have the lore of Cleopatra, so she can go there right now instead. She can be tomorrow's upload. So I'll let you guys choose. Wait a few days, you think so? Well, that's one vote. Wait. Next week. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Okay, Cleopatra tomorrow. And next week will be, whatchamacallit? Consort U. How dare you talk to me like that, you dirty little fox? Alright, that's enough, girls. Save it for after we've all been wiped out, Kay? Come on, Octa, honey. You've worked so hard to keep your face as emotionless as possible. Don't let all that effort go to waste. I'm surprised to hear you being so straightforward, too, Koyanskaya. You usually play your cards much closer to the chest. Though I imagine you can only get so close, given how far your chest extends. I guess it just goes to show how much Ophelia's death really hurt the two of you. Oh, wonderful. I love seeing the men trying to act all cool and stoic, pretending like it doesn't bother them. Look at us, sharing our thoughts and feelings about the dearly departed. It's almost like a real funeral. Stop that, I don't have any words of condolence for her. I only came here to report on my Lostbelt. I've done that, so I'll be leaving now. Pepe, Kirstaria, just to be clear, I want nothing at all to do with that fox woman. She's not good for anything but toppling nations. Don't you dare send her to my Lostbelt, not even by accident. So is Pepe trans? He's almost acting like he was including himself as one of the girls, kind of. I don't know if that's really what I was meant to read from it, but I'm kind of confused. Definitely very flamboyant, I get that all over the place. Damn, she really did just up and leave. Whatever happened to teamwork, huh? You sure about this, Wodim? Koyanskaya is not the only reason Akito was pissed. She's furious at the loss of Russia and Scandinavia. If Koyanskaya hadn't given her an easier target, she'd probably have taken her rage out on me. I can almost hear her berating me for being useless, and she'd have every right to. You know, now that you mention it, I think somebody ought to. Why not me? I mean, sure, it's great you made it back here alive after Russia got taken out and all. You're one of us. But here's the question. Why are you still alive, Kadok? It was your servant who wrecked Chaldea, right? They ought to hate you more than any of us. Here you are, without even a scratch. How the hell does that work? Are they seriously that freaking stupid? Or maybe you were thinking about changing sides. Pepe is Pepe. Peperoncino. kind of a relief to see you're still a complete asshole, Beryl. If I'd really gone over to Chaldea, I'd still be stuck in the border trying to choke down that nasty prison slop they serve about now. Trust me, they don't have enough resources to keep anyone non-essential around. I'm just a pathetic loser who managed to escape death thanks to sheer dumb luck. At least for now. I see. A loser, huh? Beryl? I'm just busting your balls, Caddock. All I really care about is that you're still alive. Gotta say, though, it's a real shame you and Ophelia had such shitty luck. Then again, maybe it wasn't so much as Chaldea had good luck. They're certainly not getting by on actual skill. I really can't get my head around their idiot master still being alive. How the hell does a third-rate amateur like that keep walking away unscathed? She's gotta be either incredibly lucky or just getting carried. I've heard of flattery getting you everywhere, but this is nuts. Well, don't forget that her defenses are perfect. Mashu is her servant, after all. It only makes sense that a shielder would ensure her master is protected. Well, well. So Mashu has been keeping her safe, huh? Now I'm even more jealous. Imagine getting to play hero while hiding behind a piece of ass like that. Ugh. If we take Koyanskaya's report at face value, then I have no choice but to agree. David, what do you think of the Master of Chaldea? Good question. It's hard to believe she's made it this far. As a rule, people going off to war must bring a proven weapon. This isn't something they do to protect themselves or even to accomplish their mission. They simply do it because they're incapable of moving forward without the assurance that they are able to fight. And yet the Master of Chaldea continues to fight while fully aware she has no weapon to call her own. She either has no sense of danger whatsoever, or nothing. There's no other possible explanation. She's a total joke of a mage. Hell, she doesn't really deserve to be called a mage. The only thing she can do is rely on Chaldea's mystic codes to convert her life energy into magical energy for her servants. And since there's no way to do that over a distance, she has to be as close as possible to her servants to even manage that much. She has no way of defending herself, and she's too stupid to command her servants from a safe zone like we can. So she's only got one choice. And that's standing on the front lines like a goddamn moron. And trust me, she's trying like hell to keep from pissing herself the whole time. Koyanskaya, let me make sure I have everything straight. You say that Chaldea didn't defeat Ophelia, but rather that she sacrificed her own life of her own accord. You also say that in order to stop Surtur, the fiery king of giants, the one hiding in the Scandinavian Lostbelt, before I could trigger Ragnarok, she used her Sirius light and acted not as a cryptor, but simply as Ophelia. Exactly, Lord Kishtaria. She abandoned her responsibilities as a cryptor. Damn, seriously? What a twist. Guess that means your ass got dumped, Wodim. Man, she was so into you, too. See, this is why I can't stand chicks. You just can't trust them. I confess I am disappointed. An overestimation of her abilities. Scandinavia was a peaceful Lostbelt after all. That she could not control even such a place. Oh, that reminds me, Kirstaria. I actually have a little question of my own. You knew about Surtur all along, right? And yet you still entrusted Scandinavia to Ophelia. In fact, weren't you the one who told her to keep Surtur around? If so, something doesn't quite add up. Surtur was the natural enemy of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, you know. Does that mean you left him there specifically so that he would destroy it? Is that what the foreign god asked you to do? Yes, I did advise Ophelia to keep Surtur around. Given Skahakskali's nature, I thought it to be possible that she may sympathize with Chaldea. I suggested she keep Surtur around as a sort of insurance against that eventuality. Sadly, it seems that even that was too much of a burden on her. I thought it would have turned out better. Aha, now I see. So you were worried Ophelia wouldn't be able to handle it on her own. You always knew what a weakling she was, even as you kept telling her how much you trusted her. You're a devious one, aren't you, Lord Kishtaria? In that case, I'm happy to forget the whole thing ever happened. I'll make sure not to mention this to the foreign god, or the other alter egos, of course. I appreciate your faith in me, Koyanskaya, though I always find it worrying whenever you add in bonuses like that. Koyanskaya, you said you lost track of Chaldea around the North Sea. I suppose they could have escaped with a zero sail, but given their lack of resources, I can't imagine they would be willing to do so for long. In which case, they must have reached the Wandering Sea. How troublesome. That was the one place the foreign god couldn't touch, or the place the foreign god felt no need to bother with at any rate. And since the mages of the Wandering Sea have no interest in the future of modern mankind, we assumed they wouldn't interfere with our plans. But perhaps our decision to ignore them was a mistake. Huh? Not even the foreign god can do anything about them? Evidently not, since they clearly avoided being erased. The Wandering Sea is an island unto itself, both part of and separate from the rest of the world. You can't take an eraser to something that already doesn't exist. Anyway, this puts us in a pretty pickle. I have no idea how we'd find them now. How about you, Koyanskaya? You can travel between Lostbelts at will. Can you track them down? I'm afraid not. I may possess independent manifestation, but I can't sneak into the Wandering Sea without knowing exactly where it is. That makes sense. Then I guess we'll just have to forget about Chaldea for now. Focus on our own Lostbelts and... Not happening, Pepperoncino. Between Caddick and Ophelia, they've already taken out 2 of us. We can't ignore this Chaldean remnant any longer. We need to crush them quickly. Right, Wodim? There's no reason to keep eyesores like them around any longer than we have to, is there? Oh, come on, don't tell me you're siding with Pepe on this. You're going to let them get away with this? Then again, I guess you're already pretty much set, aren't you? No one could ever hope to cross that sea of yours, after all. All you've got to worry about is which bottle of champagne you're going to open up after you win by default. But for us mere commoners, this is a matter of life and death. Isn't that right, Daybit? How am I supposed to enjoy my manhunts when I know Chaldea could stab me in the back at any time? Come on, Koyanskaya, this is your jurisdiction here. I mean, there's 3 of you alter egos, so can't you figure out a way to take care of them as part of your job? Oh, great disciples of the foreign god. Let me think. Rasputin's team is out fighting a group of proper human history servants in the Grecian seas right about now. And I don't know what it is that creepy Onmyoji loves about India so much, but he refuses to budge from there, so... I guess I have to handle this one myself, even though it's not in my contract. So you want me to get rid of those pesky Chaldeans for you? Oh, all right. You'll do it? Just like that, huh? Can you really pull it off? I mean, I thought you just said you couldn't sneak into the Wandering Sea. Oh, don't worry about that. We pros have our ways. That said, eliminating all of them is going to be one expensive job. I doubt you could afford it. So I trust you won't mind if I take a more cost-effective measure? Oh, what'd you have in mind? The important thing is to neutralize the threat Chaldea poses, right? Won't be a problem. They only have 1 master to spare, after all. So you just sit tight while I go assassinate her, before anyone else notices I'm there. Oh my. Looks like Koyanskaya has warped away again. You really think that she went to the Wandering Sea? Considering that neither the foreign god nor the disciples have been able to locate it. I have difficulty imagining even Koyanskaya will be able to infiltrate it anytime soon. Though knowing her as I do, I expect she must have some sort of plan to reach her destination. Shit, she can actually warp to the Wandering Sea? And I was just screwing with her. Guess it really does never hurt to ask, but also, where can I get that kind of warping juju? 'Cause hot damn! Anyway, I know she'll make good on her word. I also like her pick of going with the assassination route. Guess I'd better make sure I stay on her good side from now on. That way, I know I'll have a ticket out of my Lostbelt if everything goes to shit. Why so pessimistic, Beryl? Is your Lostbelt really that horrid? Let's just say it's all going to plan, right, Wadim? Oops, I've said too much. Time to go. Later, Kadok. You enjoy that Greek nightlife You enjoy that Greek nightlife since you've got nothing to do but live it up. Oh, and save me a few drinks. If I screw up too, we can have a loser's night out on the town. As if he wasn't treating me like a traitor just a few minutes ago. The worst part is he meant it. Whatever, this meeting's done, so I'm heading out too. Besides, I only just got to this Greek Lostbelt. You said there's a few different... What? I don't know how to read that. Poles? Here, right? I'm gonna check them out while I heal up. I'm glad to see Kadok doing so well. He's still as angsty as ever, of course, but he's so much more brazen now than he used to be. It's wonderful. Anyway, I think I'll be going now too. Kirstaria, David. This may not be my place to ask, but aren't you two at all sad about Ophelia's death? Good question. I can't say I've spent much time giving Ophelia any real thought from the beginning. What it's worth, I do feel for her loss. Yeah, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Poles? I see. Looks like I'll be the only one bringing flowers to her figurative grave then. But that's okay, flowers are the one thing my Lostbelt has plenty of. It may not line up with her beliefs, but I can still mold my own little funeral for her. I'll be sure to add some flowers for you too, Kirstaria. Since I've not seen you so much as smile since you sat in that chair. List? There's no T in there, though, really? If you have to put maybe after it, then it's just a guess. Poles. They're poles. Okay. Your indefatigable positivity never ceases to impress me, Pepe. I'm lucky to have you around. But you needn't concern yourself with me. Losing the Scandinavian Lostbelt is no more than a minor setback. That we no longer have Surtur as a failsafe if things take a turn for the worst was a strategic loss, however. Still, if there's anything I regret... Ophelia, we only knew each other for a few years, but I knew you were a kind and gentle woman at heart. Did you see me as some sort of great figure? I will strive to live up to that. I will end proper human history in order to write a new one, and build new truth in its wake. You may try to resist, members of Chaldea, but in the end, it is we cryptors who will prevail. Police? Now I'm hearing all sorts of shit. Two weeks after docking at the Wandering Sea. Have we had our welcoming party yet? Oh, look at you. Oh, there must be more of the sailors. Oh, whoops, what the? That's weird. What are you doing? I don't get it. As you can see, I did my best to recreate Chaldea right here in the Wandering Sea. I call it the Wandering Sea Chaldea Base. Go on, everyone. I believe a round of applause is in order. This is amazing, Senpai. I can't believe Sion and Captain built all this in just 2 weeks. Indeed, this is quite the contribution to our cause. But then I suppose this is what the Atlas Institute's brightest can do. I say, you there. You didn't forget about my director's office, did you? The one I ordered with a private bathroom? Wait. You're the director? Yes, that's right. I am the captain of the ship, so to speak. I asked for 3 things. A gorgeous director's office, a stylish operations room, and a German-style kitchen. This command room should suffice for operations, and I already verified that the kitchen is up to snuff, but I haven't seen my director's office anywhere. I presume you took my importance and safety into consideration and made it a secure, hidden room? That sort of initiative goes a long way with me. You have a lot to look forward to when it comes to your starting salary now that you're in my employ. Crap. I used an empty warehouse for that. I see, so you used an empty warehouse for my office's entrance. I commend you for arranging such an elaborate disguise. But I must say, passing through a warehouse whenever I leave or enter my room sounds like a bother. Tell me, Captain, how would you feel if that were your quarters? Alright, you've convinced me. Anything worth doing's worth doing right. Sion, I'm heading out on another job. I have to make sure everything is perfect. I guess our first servant summoning with Chaldea's spirit origin graph will have to wait then. Sarah, Mashu, Sir Gordolf, staff members. And of course the 2 servants, Da Vinci and Sir Holmes. Let me first congratulate you on a job well done with all you've accomplished with these past 2 weeks. As you saw when you first got here, the Wandering Sea is not exactly the most accommodating place. But that all changes today. From now on, you will each have your own private rooms. No more sharing one big communal space. We also have a cafeteria now, which should be serving proper food starting tomorrow. Where are you getting this food? I have been living on supplements and artificial blood for a long time now, so building a cafeteria was a novel experience for me. Now then, I think it's time for the first Chaldea Atlas Joint Strategy meeting. Oh, but first, do you know what the Atlas Institute is? Or would you like a refresher? For the sake of my fans, we'll take the refresher. Should add harumph. Harumph. Right, you just sit back and enjoy this info reel I worked up for you. What's the Atlas Institute, you ask? An excellent question, Miss Sarah. It is an institute of alchemists built in the Atlas Mountains of Egypt. It's also known as the Titan's Pit. It's one of the 3 branches of the Mages Association dealing with accumulation and measurement. Their alchemy is not at all like alchemy as you may know it, the kind that became mainstream in the Middle Ages. They are the progenitors of magecraft, focused on investigating the principles of the world. While they are certainly mages, I understand that their magical circuits are rather paltry. Consequently, they do not rely on magical energy to learn the mysteries of the world, instead using a great number of tools. In a way, these tools evolved similarly to scientific progress. They treated pseudo-spiritrons souls as energy. Souls as energy that could be observed and manipulated. This led to homunculi, life forms that possess magic circuits. We have no need to become the strongest, we simply have to create the strongest tool. That was their motto. True to their words, they created many weapons. In the world of magecraft, they are called the Seven Taboos. The Atlas Institute created several weapons capable of destroying the world. Realizing that they had reached their limits, they sealed them right away. There are still many theories about what they decided to build such weapons in the first place, why they decided. The director of the Atlas Institute was given the title Atlasia. I saw at a wall plate on the way here, it said, Zeppia Eltnam Atlasia. He was likely the last director. There seems to have been a successor designated, but the name wasn't recorded. The directors of this institute would always go mad, and as a result, they created forbidden weapons that would destroy the world. It's also possible that they would try to prevent the destruction of the world, fail in the process, and then go mad as a result. Regardless, this place is a storehouse of mystic codes, unparalleled anywhere else on Earth. Although in reality it's more like a disposal site. The alchemists of this institute would constantly invent things. These were treated as failed creations, and a mountain of terrible weapons accumulated. We're headed to the center of that. What do you think? Did you understand my summary of the Atlas Institute? So basically she just cut to his explanation. May I say something before we begin deliberations, Miss Sion? Apart from the fact that you're a survivor of the Atlas Institute, we still know very little about you. For example, what is your motive here? Why are you helping us? Why? I'm not so sure how to answer that. I mean, when you're faced with a problem, you work to solve it, right? And as far as this particular problem goes, you people of Chaldea are essential to the solution. I thought that was why we decided to join forces and become friends. Wait, does that mean I was the only one who thought that? Of course we're friends. We are? Great, then we can get down to business. My apologies, I let my cautious nature get the better of me. I should have remembered that the Atlas alchemists are not motivated by personal gain. Their sole desire has always been solving problems. I do beg your pardon, Miss Sion. Please rest assured that I am delighted to have gained such a capable ally. Right then, shall we get down to business? I went ahead and skimmed through your logs from the day Chaldea was attacked until you ended up here. Ooh, Archangel Glenn! Space, Ishtar, Zerker, Musashi, Consort, you funds. How long do you think the stream will go on? I have absolutely no idea. I really don't. I don't know how far the intro goes and whatnot. It is a nice recap, though, because it's been a long time since the last Lostbelt. December 31st, 2019. Chaldea is attacked and frozen solid. That same day, 7 pillars of light are seen streaking down from space, and Kirstario Odim broadcasts his victory speech. Kirstaria used to be a master from Team A, the linchpin of Chaldea's ray shift experiment. But now he refers to the new group he belongs to as the Cryptors. Given that Team A was found to be missing during the operation to unfreeze them before Chaldea was attacked, we can assume that the Cryptors Kirstaria refers to are the other Team A members. 10 more minutes for the intro? How long has the stream been going? Only for an hour. I'll probably play a little bit of, like, the remaining event, just for fun, if that has to be the case. As for all of you, you undertook a zero sail in the Shadow Border in order to escape the Oprichniki. Although you only spent a week inside Void Space, 3 months had passed when you emerged into Standard Space. To do so, the Border had to rely on your sole connection to Standard Space at that time, the Oprichniki. This led you to the Russian Lostbelt, a frigid alternate history inhabited by the Yaga. As you attempted to gather more information about your situation, you ended up facing off with Ivan the Terrible, the king of the Russian Lostbelt. You then managed to cut down Orochi, the tree of emptiness that had taken root there. I'm still working on what these trees actually are, but based on the data about its internal gravitational field recorded during that battle, I think we can make an educated guess. Once the tree was cut down, the storm it had been generating disappeared, and you were finally able to pick up my broadcast from the Wandering Sea. From there, you decided to make a beeline for the North Sea. But on the way, you ran into another obstacle. The Scandinavian Lostbelt, a history stuck in perpetual twilight after Ragnarok went awry. When I first saw you had lost the Paper Moon, I might have maybe screamed a little bit, but it was very unbecoming of an Eltnum, so you can imagine my relief when I found you recovered it. You then went on to face Skahak Skadi, the king of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, and were able to cut down its tree of emptiness, Sombrero, an impressive track record. After that, a battered and damaged shadow border finally arrived at the North Sea and made its way inside the Wandering Sea. Hey, Maximus Prime, I made a video all about starting the Fate series. It's a simple guide to Fate, and I think it's probably the best I could probably do to, you know, help people start out. So you should definitely take a look, because it helps contextualize what all these different releases are, which ones are part of kind of like the main story, which ones are spin-offs of each other, and all of that stuff. And now here we are. Did I get all that right? Do you have logs other than the ones on the border? Yeah, that's alright. So you have been inside 2 of the Lostbelts now and experienced their differences from proper human history for yourselves. These Lostbelts are dead-end lifelines, timelines that were pruned away by human history itself once they were deemed unworthy of being allowed to continue. For example, the Russian Lostbelt diverged from proper human history in the year 1570 AD. And it seems that each Lostbelt to appear on Earth has continued from its point of historical divergence onto the present day. What?
Got this.
You're good. However, just because a Lostbelt may have diverged from further back in the past does not necessarily mean it is stronger. A Lostbelt's strength, or threat really, is not so much a matter of its age, but of how much it differs from proper human history. Hello! What you munch? Ooh, hot dogs.
Hot doggy.
The Yaga may have been physically different from mankind, but their lifestyle and culture was still carried over from proper human history. By contrast, the people in Scandinavia may have led... Uh-oh.
What happened?
Nothing. We're good, I think. Wait. No?
I didn't do anything!
It couldn't have been you.
My mere presence breaks things.
Come on, El Gato. You gonna work? You gonna work? Urgh. Give me a second. I'm gonna unplug this son bitch. I'm confused. I'll be right back. I got it on my screen. It's not like anything crashed. It's just, for whatever reason, it's not... My El Gato sucks. No, it wasn't the doggo. She's a good girl.
You didn't do anything wrong. No, you didn't. Hi.
Hmm?
One moment, please. Your call is very important to us. Please continue to hold.
Wow. Come on.
I didn't do anything, I swear.
I wonder what it could be. Let's see here. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Let's try deactivating the game capture. and reactivating it. Aha! Eat that, you son of a bitch! So it was jacking off. I don't know.
Jacking in the corner.
Yep, it's one of those things that needed not necessarily an unplug and a replug, but a reset at the level of OBS for some reason.
Basically a slap in the face.
Kinda, could you like not go down there? You're super cute, but there's a lot more cables here now. Kinda equal.
Come here, baby.
I need to like put a barrier up so they can't go down here.
Yeah.
Just need some like cardboard or something.
It's called a cabinet.
Anyway, yeah. By contrast, the people in Scandinavia may have led peaceful lives, but their society was essentially being kept on life support. So given what we know from those two, I decided to come up with a metric we could use to rank and compare the Lostbelts. I call it their Lostbelt depth. The greater the Lostbelt depth, the more strongly it refutes proper human history. Okie doke. I went ahead and assigned preliminary Lostbelt depth rankings for all 7 of the Lostbelts. How do you know? You don't know the other ones, or maybe you can guess from the outside. Oh yeah, this makes it nice and clear. You Atlas Institute people really do work fast. As you can see, there are 3 Lostbelts in Europe, 2 in Asia, 1 in South America, and 1 in the middle of the Atlantic. What's my cat's name? Kenshin. My cat's name is Kenshin, my woofer is Kana. Yeah, Kenshin's being a good boy right now. He's leaving me alone. Kana's adorable. She just is bigger than she is aware of. The last Lostbelt is the only place on Earth that still has an ocean from before the world was reset. Huh? Wait, cut, scratch that. I forgot about the Wandering Sea. We still have oceans too, obviously. Never mind that. Did you say the Atlantic? There can't possibly be a Lostbelt in the middle of the Atlantic. There's never been any inhabitants in the middle of the ocean in all of recorded history. Well, there are now. In fact, the Atlantic Lostbelt is our ultimate objective. That is the one spreading its Tree of Emptiness branches all throughout Earth's atmosphere. And I have good cause to believe it's where we will find the Cryptor's leader, Kishtaria Wodim. An Atlantic Lostbelt, huh? In that case, there's only one place I can imagine it could be. Do you think it's really possible, Holmes? This sort of thing is your forte, isn't it? I can't speak with complete certainty, but if what you are thinking is correct, we will certainly have to we'll certainly have our work cut out for us. For one thing, we have no means of getting there, as the Shadow Border is simply incapable of making such a long sea voyage. But there is another more immediate difficulty. If there truly is a civilization in the Atlantic, it will be much, much older than any of the 4 great civilizations. It will have existed since prehistoric days, a robust, stable world that will have had over 12,000 years to develop. Come now, man, don't wimp out on me now! If this Lostbelt is the greatest immediate threat to us, not to mention Wodim's home base, it is our duty to take the fight to him. The other Lostbelts can wait. We should be on our way to the Atlantic even as we speak. I recommend that course of action as well. Unlike Russia and Scandinavia, the storm walls bordering the Lostbelts in China and India are not expanding, so there should be no danger in leaving them be for a while. As for the Lostbelts in Britain and South America, Trismegistus calculates an extremely high probability that they will both self-destruct if left onto their own devices. I have not been able to get a proper reading on the British Lostbelt's depth, but that is just another sign that is a poor fit for this world. I have been unable to confirm what is going on in there, but compared to proper human history and the foundation of humanity, it's pretty clear that humanity in there is on the verge of collapse. So it's reasonable to assume that mankind in the British Lostbelt will go extinct within the span of months rather than years. Though I do wonder why the British Lostbelt is the only one surrounded by a wall of light rather than storms. We saw that on the border too. and came to the conclusion that it'd be best for us to stay away from the British Isles. Last is the South American Lostbelt. While it appears to have a very high value to its Lostbelt depth, I cannot seem to get any clear information. So I can only conclude that this civilization is just about dead and gone. And that in turn means that even among all these bizarre histories, it is exceptional. And thus, not one we need to concern ourselves with as far as fighting with the others for dominance. So in short, your next destination is the Atlantic. To that end, we will be making some extensive modifications to the border, and by we, I mean Whoops. And by me, Jesus Christ. And by we, I mean Da Vinci, with me assisting. Lord, I don't know why I got stuck on that one. However, since it will take at least a month to finish, I would like to invite the rest of you to enjoy a bit of rest and relaxation here in the meantime. That goes double for you, Sir Gordolph and Sarah. Once we get our operation going, you two will be on the front lines, so you should take advantage of the rest while you can. You will need to get all the rest you can before the final battle in the Atlantic. A sea voyage in the border, huh? Huh. As the commander of this outfit, I hardly expect to be on the front line, but you're right about me having been under considerable stress. Indeed, now would seem to be an excellent time to recuperate. I must say I had heard that every mage in the Atlas Institute was a cranky old misanthrope, but you turned out to be a most considerate young lady. It would be the height of rudeness to turn down such a kind offer. Now then, I think I'll begin with a nice hot shower in my wonderful new office. Haha, things are finally looking up for good old Gordolph. We'll have the world saved in no time. Why don't you just go rest up? Sorry, why don't I read sentences right? Why don't you go rest up too, Senpai? I know I can't wait to see what our new rooms are like. They probably look yeah. I hope they're just like the ones at Chaldea. Sterile and boring. Man, I'm kind of jealous. But if anyone deserves some free time, it's those two. Anyway, how about us, Sion? Are we going to keep working with the meeting? I should warn you, even though we have a hard time modifying the border... Sorry, even you might have a hard time. Good point. Your designs appear to be similar to magecraft from the Middle Ages, while mine are based on cutting-edge alchemy. We could end... Jesus Lord, sorry, I'm gonna get another drink. My brain is starting to twist around itself. We could well end up having incompatible design philosophies. But never mind that. Truthfully, I am much more interested in that exoskeleton. I think you called it the Orton Axe? Mashu's own spirit origin tuning is perfect, but the Orton Axe still has a long way to go. I imagine it is pretty difficult for Mashu to fight in that, am I wrong? Well, yeah, I had to build a lot of the Orton Axe from spare parts of the border that I just had lying around, so of course it's not perfect. So what did you want me to mess with? You know there's no way to restore her old defensive power, right? Of course. We could not possibly recreate Galahad's gift with Earth as it is now. So instead, I was hoping you might let me tinker with the bunker bolt mechanism. I mean, it does not have to be right this second, but I have something in particular I would like to add to it before we get to the Atlantic. Before I got pulled into Trismegistus' development, I was working on a conceptual weapon related to one's natural longevity. We really need to give Mashu an upgrade. It's just like being back at Chaldea. The same fucking plant and everything. I know, some of the details are a little different, but it's still an amazing recreation of Chaldea's rooms. Sion and Captain really outdid themselves. You know, they should really make larger beds for these rooms if their only master has to supply a fuck ton of mana. Just saying. Railgun goes pew pew. Yeah, I imagine that would be an interesting thing. Although Babylonia already got more than enough love, I think we should go to something else. Give that Kohai a cannon. Kohais love cannons. Why don't you go check out your own room, Mashu? Oh yes, good idea. I was so happy I forgot all about that. Okay, I'll go take a look at the room they gave me right now. We're all done with work for the day, so there's no reason not to relax and enjoy ourselves now. Good night, Senpai. I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast in the new cafeteria. Woo! Made out of food that is, like, artificially made because there's no fucking, like, animals around. I saw that. Azure Lane crossing over with Dead or Alive. The animated girls don't even remotely look like they do. Like, the only one I could even recognize almost was Marie Rose, and also, fuck, what's her name? God, I can't remember their names anymore. The chick from Ninja Gaiden with the long hair. The ponytail, that is. Brown hair, ponytail. I'm a little pissed off at the whole Dead or Alive Extreme thing, because none of the girls are like legacy girls anymore. It's all been ones that they added further along the way, and they've completely replaced them. It's kind of like Idolmaster and Love Live in that regard. I like the legacy cast more so. No, you can still manage mana transfer with other bodily fluids. I don't know if it's as beneficial, but... Well, you're sleeping in my room? Asumi? No, that's not... Kasumi's the main character. I'm talking about, she was added later. Crap, I'm already awake. It just happened. I sent the preview on my Twitter, you can see it there. Come to think of it, I didn't have any dinner. I wonder what's for dinner. Foe's fast asleep. Let's go to the cafeteria. No, Ayane is my favorite character. God, what the fuck is her name? I thought it was with an H. I'm gonna look it up. Momiji. Momiji's the... Well, I guess Kasumi has it too, but Momiji was the one I was thinking of. But yeah, characters like Honoka and... really any of the ones they added later to that Venus Vacation game make me sad. No, Rachel's blonde. I can't believe this! The nerve of that Atlas churl. Not only did he not have my director's office ready, he had the gall to tell me to use a sleeping bag at the dock until it was done. Some captain he is. No doubt he's some pirate scum of a heroic spirit if he thinks he can treat me like... No, this won't do. I can't lose my temper like this. Get a hold of yourself, be elegant, breathe from the diaphragm, just like Tool taught you. Captain may try to hide it, but his dignity is unmistakable. No pirate could fake that. But then, who could he really be? I can't tell. If only I could just ask him myself. But I can't do that. A commander must maintain a certain dignity. Why can't he just accept that we're allies now and tell us his true name already? Do I watch VTubers? Yes, kind of. Kind of. I check out, what is her name, Callie and Gura from Hololive EN occasionally. Because they adorbs. One of the very first videos I made on this channel was me playing Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Still out there. Whoops. Whee! Well, I'd better make myself comfortable since I'll be spending the night here again. Midware, Kawata, Octavia, Tomlin, Shin, Kyan, Elron, Marcus, Kirielite, Sarah. I see I had no problems remembering to make rooms for all of my staff. Well, they may have their cushy beds, but there's one thing I've got that they don't. Midnight snack time! Ha ha ha! Now then, I think I'll take a break in the new kitchen. Yes, I am a VTuber. Thank you for noticing. Between the curling Chaldean spaces, I could see him eating. Well, okay, you know what? I also watch... What is her name? Korone? Korone or Kurone? The dog. Korone, yeah. Inugami Korone. I definitely watch her because she was playing Banjo-Kazooie. That shit was fun. Do I play Genshin Impact? I was thinking about it, but I hadn't gotten into it yet. I think I'm waiting for the right kind of character to get me excited about the game. Or costumes for those characters. Why is the music quiet? Because we just caught him, like, raiding the kitchen by himself. I'm not raiding anything. I'm merely having my midnight tea time. You're sharper than you look, aren't you? I never imagined anyone besides me would try to get a jump on the kitchen. Still, I do commend your taste. I presume you were lured here by the sweet scent of butter? Oh, very well then. I've already had my fill. Here, you can have the other half. There's some leftover tea as well if you want it. That would be great. Thank you. Ikam pokam. Ikam pokam. God, that's just like the most wholesome fucking thing. Oh, by the way, is everything alright with you? And with the demi-servant girl, for that matter? Never mind. I can see you must have woken up in the middle of the night, despite being utterly exhausted. That can only mean you've been unable to relax your mind amid what is all that has happened. Well, I can hardly blame you. This must have been an arduous journey for a young lady with no military experience. Once you've had some cake and a nice hot cup of tea, you should have no trouble drifting right off. Go back to your room once you've finished that, and you'll see how right I am. And of course, I trust that you will join me in pretending none of this happened tomorrow morning. Now that you've eaten the other half of the cake I found here, that makes you my accomplice, after all. What do you mean by that? Exactly what I said, of course. I found this cake here with a note that said, "For Sarah." Don't bother making excuses. Your friends baked it as a part of the master welcome party they'll be throwing tomorrow morning, didn't they? Some nerve you lot have, throwing a party and not inviting me. I admit I was pretty steamed when I saw this cake with your name on it. But I calmed down quickly and decided to do the kind thing and taste it for you. Right. Right. Why do you want Consort paired with Salieri, of all people? Before I knew it, I'd eaten half of the thing. fact, I was just appreciating just how delightfully sweet its cream was when you found me. Now then, are you all finished? Haha, good, good. That makes us partners in crime. What? Dude, did you just eat, like, poison? Huh? Hold on, you mean you didn't know about this cake? Then who made it? And more importantly, is it just me or are we both looking off color? I also can't help but notice I'm feeling rather cold and dizzy all of a sudden. Koyanskaya, that bitch. Warning, warning. Unauthorized life form detected. Civilian personnel, please remain in your rooms. Security team, please suit up and come to the command room. An unauthorized life form? Then we've got an intruder here. What the? Get back before you get hurt. There's a real nasty woman over there. Captain? This way, Director. Well, this is an unpleasant surprise. I never thought a grown man would stoop to stealing food meant for a child. In fact, you shocked me so much that I lost control of my presence concealment. It seems the one thing you excel at is getting in other people's way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Excellency? Tamamovich Koyanskaya? Impossible! How did you get into the Wandering Sea? You know, she could just have stabbed Ritsuka from the get-go. You know, you had your plenty of time. Just saying. Hold up, run that name by me again? Trade secret. This was a special trick I'm afraid I could only do once. And now, you've gone and ruined it, Your Excellency. There was only enough poison in that cake for one person. Half a portion means half the effect. I can't believe my plan was to poison her without leaving behind any evidence has backfired so spectacularly. Poison? Poison? Don't be absurd! I gave it a thorough taste test to ensure it was safe. Between the buttery scent, the buttery taste, and the creamy light texture, it was perfectly gourmet cake. If it had truly been poisoned, I would have spit it out on the first bite. I accounted for that, of course. I made sure to use just enough that not even a mage would notice. I even went to the trouble of mixing it into a delectable cake instead of plain old water, just to be doubly certain. Well, what's done is done. Dude, you're absolutely right. Poisoning the cake is a terrible way to try to kill Ritsuka anyway, because thanks to Mashu, we have poison resistance. Or was that only... does that only count when she's linked with Galahad? I wonder. I wonder if that's only when she's linked with Galahad. And since it looks like everyone else is on their way here, I'll take my leave before things turn violent. I'm sure you'll have no trouble figuring out what the poison was with Sherlock and Da Vinci here, but that's all you'll be able to do. If you want to actually neutralize the poison, well, you'll have no choice but to fight your little friends to the death again. And that should be quite entertaining in its own right. Damn it, she's warping away! What are you waiting for, you fool? Hurry up and catch her before she... It's no use, she's already gone. Never mind her now. We need to get you two to the infirmary. Sion, we've got an emergency. Take Da Vinci and meet us inside the border. I'll do my best to cleanse the poison from them in the meantime. I just got out of the infirmary. Senpai, are you okay? What did the test say? Calm yourself, Miss Kyrielite. I'll get to that. It's been half a day since Koyanskaya infiltrated our new base. We've done everything we can to treat Sarah and Miss Gordolf. Mr. Gordolf. Bluntly, Mr. Gordolf has most 10 days left to live. As for Sarah, this is rather difficult for me to say, but... Difficult as this is to say, she is essentially fine. The poison remains in her system, but it will have no more effect than a bad cold. Cold? Even though it's fatal for Director Gordolf? That can't be right. We both ingested the same amount of poison, and I'm much fatter than she is. Yes, but thanks to her contract with Miss Curiolite, Miss Sarah has a rather potent resistance to poison. Yay! Galahad didn't leave, but he's being a stubborn bitch, and he's not helping her anymore. If that contract were to be broken, she would most likely be dead in an hour. Thanks, Mashu. You saved me again. Well, of course, I'm honored to be helpful, but... don't we still have to do something to help Director Gordolf? Damn straight you do! What are you waiting for? I know you can figure out an antidote. They say genius recognizes genius, right? And you're two of the greatest geniuses in human history. Then put all of the geniuses to work and have them help me already. I'm terribly sorry, but for once there's nothing we can do. We analyzed Koyanskaya's poison, and I'm afraid she's chosen some, frankly, troublesome ingredients. Its base sequence does not exist on Earth in 2020. As such, there's no way for humanity in its current state to reproduce it. Which also means it's impossible to formulate an antidote. Its base sequence doesn't exist on Earth in 2020? So, Trismegistus 2 is telling us, yeah? We did determine that the poison they ingested is some sort of natural substance. But we have no success determining what plant it was extracted from. All we know is its name. Okay, that's gonna be a load of... was it just Xian Shui Mingmai? Or Immortal Decline, and the fact that it was used a number of times in the past. I can tell you that its name is likely of Taoist origin, considering all its references to immortality, and that plant it comes from is medicinal, but unfortunately that is all. Was Spring Song in English? No, it was subbed, if that's what you mean. The dubbed release will probably go back in theaters, assuming the coronavirus ever gets better. The dubbed version will eventually come out again, I think. That's how it's been for the previous theater releases. If it doesn't exist on Earth in 2020, then... this can't be happening! Then my chances for receiving an antidote are 0? Not to worry. That's what you got me for. We may not be able to reproduce the poison just yet, but since we know of its Taoist origin, it most likely comes from China, so our next step is clear. Just because it's in the modern era doesn't mean we're out of options. Are you able to see? I was able to see it. Unfortunately, it was like my last chance because they're closing theaters down this weekend. So I think, effectively, tomorrow, they aren't. So, will Corona be a beast class? I'd like to think no, because it's just a bunch of stupid people not wearing masks, and that's why it's not working. After all, we've got a whole different China we know nothing about, just waiting to be explored. A China that followed a completely different path than the one in proper human history. So I am absolutely, completely certain that we will find an antidote to that poison in the Chinese Lostbelt. Even if we don't, we can learn what it's made from by studying the local ley lines. As luck would have it, I have just managed to summon the perfect guide for us. Come on in. This is a momentous occasion. The very first helper resummoned with Chaldea's spirit origin graph. Faster than the wind, cuter than fire, this lotus spirit's charms even melted the heart of Taiyi Genren. That's right, it's the artificial Baobei made in ancient China. The marshal of the central altar, Crown Prince Neja. Da Vinci, that intro, it's wasted on me. It's embarrassing. But I am honored to be the first resummoned. Ni hao, happy day. Sarah, Mashu, I have heard what happened. You did so well surviving that. I will help you. From now on, I will. Work 3 times harder to make up for lost time. Thank you, Neja! Whee! That's wonderful, Da Vinci, you beautiful goddess. I knew glasses suited you. Then you'll go to the Chinese Lostbelt to save me? Fantastic! The Atlantic Lostbelt can wait. Besides, we have to deal with all the cryptors sooner or later. Prepare to go immediately, everyone. We're invading the Chinese Lostbelt to take back proper human history. The next Lostbelt. No, I understand how you feel, Master, but Director Gordolf's life is at stake. We have to deal with all of the Lostbelts, no matter what may be awaiting us in them. After all, we're not wanderers. We have our own world with our own history. Yeah. You've been banned for region chat? What? Alright, I understand, and I have no objections. This should be a great learning experience. Besides, you are still technically poisoned yourself, Sarah. Just because it's not affecting you right now does not necessarily mean it will not later. We really should neutralize it. Wonderful! This is tremendously promising. What are we waiting for? Let's get the border ready to... Not so fast. There's something else we need to clear up first. How did Koyanskaya enter the Wandering Sea? We need to understand that so we know it can't happen again. It should be impossible to warp into the Wandering Sea from the outside, since it's impossible to see and its coordinates are always changing. And yet she popped inside it like it was nothing, which means... there must have been something she was able to use as an anchor. Just to clear up any doubts, Miss Sion, I don't suppose Koyanskaya was originally from the Wandering Sea. Perhaps she had visited here at least once before? No chance. This is definitely her first time here. Then that leaves one possibility. One of us summoned her. Or rather, more precisely, one of us possesses something with some connection to her. Something connected to her? What do you think it could be? For this, I doubt it's anything related to magecraft. Mangecraft? Mangy Mangecraft? Could be as simple as a pair of gloves or a hairbrush. Whatever it is, I'm guessing it's something small that contains a fragment of Koyanskaya herself. Director Gordolf, is something wrong? Flashback! Whee! I'm still using the butt plug I had her put in me. It's got her DNA all over when she licked it first. I'm so sorry, Your Excellency. I appreciate your kindness, really. But I've been hurt too many times in the past. I just can't bring myself to trust anyone else again. Even though I really want to. Oh, yes, of course. I understand completely, darling. Rest assured, I am a patient man. I can wait as long as I must to melt the ice around your heart. As long as that butt plug stays in, so will my determination.
What the fuck?
In the meantime, you may use my connections as you see fit. I'm not known as Music the Phoenix for nothing, after all. My passion is as hot and sultry as my namesake. And my bowels. I swear to you that one day my undying love will find the perfect mink coat to warm your frozen heart. Why aren't you saying anything? Forgive me, Your Excellency. I was just so... touched by what you said. Here, Your Excellency. I want you to have this lipstick. Pretend it's me. Keep it close to your heart, where no one can ever see it. I know how awful I can be, so I'm afraid I may end up disappointing you over and over and over. Over and over? But please, please remember this. If you swear to hold on to that lipstick forever and ever, I promise you that one day I will return to you, no matter what fate may have in store. Yes, of course I'll remember. I have faith in you, Koyanskaya. I always will. Horny bastard. I can't exactly blame him. Is that a butt plug? I never intended to pass this. But here you go. I don't want it. You stupid, stupid thing. So it turns out it was actually Gordy's fault. Just because you broke it doesn't necessarily mean it still can't be used as a catalyst. Like, at the end of the day, it's still just a bunch of physical stuff. Like, maybe if you burn it. What a sad story. At any rate, that's one problem taken care of. We've finished investigating the base and removed all traces of Koyanskaya or anything she left behind. We should no longer have to worry about the unexpected visits from her in the future, correct, Miss Sion? Yeah, she had one shot of taking you out and she blew it. I would venture a guess that she is none too pleased right now, but you know what they say, what goes around comes around. She could have just stabbed you, just saying. Oh, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. Holmes, Da Vinci. As I was saying, we need to leave for the Chinese Lostbelt immediately. I trust the border is ready. We only have 10 days to find this plant, and we can't waste a single minute. Come to think of it, are you sure we'll make it in time? I'm not really done for, am I? Don't worry, I have thought about that. I just need to run it by Sion. Sion, you designed the paper moon. Do you think it'd be possible to zero sail from here all the way to the Chinese Lostbelt's border? Especially since I'm guessing Captain there is actually... Shut it, Da Vinci. I can't stand having other people share my secrets. Of course, I'll keep my mouth shut. As long as you help us out, that's all that matters. In my estimation, a zero sail should let us jump from the Wandering Sea straight to China. We'd still have to worry about getting inside from there, of course, but I figure the actual trip to the Lostbelt would take less than a day. What do you think, Sion? Am I totally off base? Nope, all sounds right to me, Da Vinci. No wonder you're Chaldea's, or rather, humanity's guardian. I would have suggested the same thing. You were just quicker about it. The Atlas Institute will be glad to get you to the Chinese Lostbelt, right, Captain? I'm not part of the Atlas Institute, but I suppose I can help. I'll have you to the Chinese Lostbelt in less than half a day. After that, it's all up to you guys, Sarah. Well, what is region chat in this case? Like, I know some people are banning the word trap, but yeah. Well, wait. Isn't Arneja a reverse trap or something? I don't even know. What exactly is their, friggin' gender? I never really confronted that yet. I think we had this conversation before, but I haven't done the lore, so I always forget. What was my reaction to Castor Artoria? I think she's cute. I'm excited. I heard she's badass, so I can't wait to get her. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that here. I'm not one of the people trying to say that trap is an offensive word. Like, it could be used as that, but nobody's using it like that. Like, nobody using trap to refer to, like, cute anime characters is doing it to be, like, offensive. That's just not how it's happening. So, rah. Thanks, Captain. You found Fate Extra for the PSP? I still have my copy. Foo-foo! I bought that on release. I was so excited. Guess we all agree then. Okay, everyone, get ready to head out. I estimate you should have room in the border to fit supplies for about 15 days. I will open up the Wandering Sea's dock in an hour, so please make sure you're all set by then. Your next destination is the Chinese Lostbelt. Your objective is to obtain, Xian Shui, damn it. I hate when the text runs away on me. Some Xian Shui Ming Mai. Investigate the Lostbelt and completely cure your 2 poisoned personnel. Oh, and for the bonus round, you can defeat the Lostbelt's king, cut down the Tree of Emptiness, and take out the Cryptor. I know you are working against the clock as well as any hostiles you encounter, but try to stay calm. At this point, any differences the Atlas Institute or the Wandering Sea may have had no longer matter. From this point on, I hereby dub the Wandering Sea Chaldea No. 2, Novum Chaldea. As Trismegistus II's caretaker, I will do everything I can to support you. Alright then. It is time to get this operation, this order to explore and decipher Lostbelt No. 3 underway. Good luck with everything, and I will see you all when you get back. Whee! You didn't wake me. She's too good for this world. You can have some ulterior motives, Mashu. I really wouldn't mind. There's no time to waste. The party heads to the Chinese Lostbelt in search of an antidote. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Well, there's the intro for you. Huh. Let me play now! Well, I still have some unfinished quests here, so... Oh, shit. Oh, I did do that one. Okay. Merry Christmas! Whoa, ho, ho. We'll just play a little bit. Acha. Thank you for putting the good craft essence on there. My best archer is going to be in the cold, in swimsuit. And I need to switch up my party. You can have that. You can have that. You can have that. And you can have that. But we also need to make sure you guys are not 5-star. So. That'll do. But I don't know why I would choose that. I need a different archer. Lower cost archer. Hooray! Boom. Not like I'm expecting to lose those first 2 characters, though. Lots and lots of flame members. To be fair, a lot of them are like onesie-twosies from rolling the thingy. Do you not have Ere-chan? As in Areshkigal? I do not have her, no. So yeah, we're just in kind of hangout time right now. So I'm currently working on a video that is a tribute to female armor. Do you have space on your friends list? Oh. 206 items. Most of it is all like onesie-twosie flame embers from the roulette. But I don't want to fill up my thing until I have a servant to use them on. And they let you keep them there for like hundreds of days. So I'm using it as an extra storage, really. But yes, I'm doing a video on female armor. Because Anita Sarkeesian can go suck it. Unsub Re? No, it's not my fault. Oh, I love my favorite champagne opener. It's that time of year again. Such a funny name for a for an enemy. Santa gets 100% damage up. I have not leveled up my Santas, so shame on me. It's my fault. But it's okay. Any predictions for Thanksgiving? What do you mean, predictions? Yeah, I'll just have Reem wipe these fuckers out. She'll be fine. Boom, boom, boom. Senpai! I just figured it'd be a good opportunity to show off really cool armor designs that anime has for its women, whether they're realistic or not. Why are you going baba? Baba baba? Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Hey! It's Saber Alter! We got to watch her, of course, in Heaven's Feel movie! The movie was really good, I'll say that. The movie was great. I don't think it could be much better. I would say, though, that because they are trying to cram an entire plot route into 3 films, there are certain bits that still feel rushed. That could have used a little bit more explanation, maybe just like 1 or 2 sentences out of a character's mouth, so that people who don't already understand the story would know what the hell they're looking at. So, unfortunately, that happens a little bit. But at the same time, the way it conveys some of the story is actually better than the visual novel ever does, because it shows us certain things, there are extra scenes that we never actually got to see with our own eyes. Instead, it was just something that Ilya told us, or whatnot, in the original novel. So. Oh, Altera has sheep. Gotcha. I forgot all about her. I mean, I've got my sheep, I just don't use her. What are you talking about? Oh, 3 routes into 24 episodes. Yeah. Were you saying something? Do you know when movie theaters will open up again? No, I didn't realize they were even going to be canceled until I looked at my email and it says, oh, you get a refund. I'm like, no! No! Also, I'll admit that 9 Lives Blade Works, for those who actually know what that is, it's not a spoiler, but I was surprised at how it looked. I was a little bit surprised. It wasn't what I had interpreted in my mind. And it looks like Ufotable decided to redesign what the Greater Grail even looks like. So it's not what I expected from Fate Apocrypha, which is that ball of Einsburn homunculi. I really like that design, but they did something kind of a bit different, and it really confused me. And Kirei is fucking amazing in this. He's funny as shit in all these movies, but yeah, good things about Kirei. Fuck, even with all these things favorited, I still misplace my craft essences. Was I disappointed? Not necessarily. I don't really think so. I will say that the Berserker is... They made him out of CG and he looked kind of derp. Just a tiny bit derp. Just a little bit derp. Opinions on Van Gogh? I like their Noble Phantasm. I really like the Noble Phantasm. I chose somebody who had the right craft essence on. I could have chosen Eresh Kigal. But since you guys are asking, I'll totally do that. I'm just going through and completing them at least once.
分かったよ。そうか、そうだね。そうだね。任せよ。遅い。
The music was the best. I think that's one of my favorite things, is the music. It really helped out some of those scenes. And I didn't realize it before. I might have said it when I was live streaming the game last, like the original visual novel. But there's a part, and this isn't really a spoiler, is Reen is talking about Zelrech. And Sakura is like, Zelrech? And Reen's all like, you don't know who that is? In a mocking sort of tone. And I'm like, bitch, nobody watching this movie is gonna know who the hell Zelrech is. If they haven't become, like, an expert on the fucking Nasuverse. Just saying. Nobody knows that shit. The movie could have helped a little bit by trying to explain that, just a tiny bit, but no. Oh, my doggy's dreaming.
Ah, so ka.
The Christmas Fist.
Ah,
God, I
so
love that name.
つまらん。
Oh ho, the Christmas Fist. Going up your...
なんだ。
Who is Zelrech? I would love to answer that question for you. Zelrech is an old mage who is one of the very few mages who actually got their hands on true magic by reaching the root. His true magic was called Kaleidoscope, and it gave him the ability to channel parallel worlds.
どういい子。
To be fair, even the visual novel does a shit job of telling you who Zelrech is. I don't remember them telling him nearly as well as I could in a few seconds, which is not that impressive.
そうか、分かったよ。任せよ。
And it's relevant because Zelrech presumably was there when they created the Greater Grail system for the Holy Grail War, and... Ooh, hello, Uruk Flying Corps. And one of his mystic codes is called the Jeweled Sword Zelrech, which is a sword that derives all of its power from other universes. Yeah, he's in, like, other Nasuverse type stuff, so if you're only experiencing him through Fate, you're not going to get the full picture. And of course, anyone who knows anything about Toko Aozaki, you know, people watching this movie for the first time are going to have no fucking clue who she is.
それにそうか。
Basically, there's parts of that movie that are gonna get confusing as fuck. I got tiny little vibes of whatchamacallit, of like the Unlimited Blade Works movie feeling, just at how fast some of it kinda goes. That doesn't mean it doesn't have breathing moments, and it doesn't introduce things at all, it's just not as good. Isn't he a vampire? In the Tsukihime timeline, he is, I think, right? Because he got bit by fucking type moon, right? Yeah, of the Crimson Moon. Brunstead of the Crimson Moon he fought. Don't even know what the fuck that thing looks like, but he got bit by it. No one popped off with Toko? Koko Aozaki? No, Toko with a T. Toko Owl Zaki is in like blue. Owl. Assassins, eh? Merlin, I love you. I feel like using Ushi. I don't even know she's... Wait, I can't. She's Rider. Sorry, I for some reason thought she was an assassin. Shame on me. Well, no, I'm supposed to be using a caster. I don't really have... Oh, I could throw 3 casters in, but then I wouldn't have an attacker. It's kind of strange. They say you're gonna work pretty well, though. Why the fuck not? You're Buster, aren't you? Aren't you Buster? Yeah, you're Buster. Flaw. Her summer form's an assassin, but I don't have the summer form. I don't think. No, I never got her. I got Summer BB! Well, that's the main one. Do I play JP? I do not. Is it the same Zelrech? You know, that's an interesting thing. Like, he jumps between worlds, so I don't see there being a reason he couldn't, necessarily. Right, Zelrech is the guy who made the wands in Prisma Ilia. So he's into magical girls. He's that's almost like an inside joke almost. But yeah. Will it be possible to get Summer Mordred again? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. People who play JP might know. If there was ever another Reader banner. Because I'm pretty sure our banners are exactly what theirs were. But it also makes you wonder, can Zelrech run into himself? Be like, oh, hello there! Magical girl Zelrech when? That would be funny. I suppose I could have used Nitocris. I freaking love her. Summer Mordred? Yeah. She's on a surfboard in her sweet bikini.
Ah. そういうことか。魔人の陣はみじん切りの陣。そうはっ。行こう。いいとも。
There's a lot of people whose skills I could probably level, but it's always a matter of money, and I don't really grind for money, so... Doesn't mean I shouldn't. It would be a good idea to do so. I have a son? What the fuck's a Mordred? That's brilliant. And sad. We get to go past Bond 10? I never actually knew that. Eventually. Not right now we can't, but... Yes, that QP. Really? That didn't kill her? I'm surprised. You bitch, you sealed my NP, now you die. This may very well be my last fight, because I got a video to work on after this. I always have videos to work on. I'm glad I could get this done. And you can bet your ass once they release. I'm so glad the streaming is working too. But I'm so glad that the stream is released. But you can bet your ass I'll be playing the actual Lostbelt soon. Overkill. Oh, hey, pick it. Thumb, pick it. Thank you. Right now I'm not playing any other mobile games because FGO takes so much dedication. I got a couple console games I try to play, and now that I can stream more, and it actually looks good, I'm gonna check the quality of this stream when it's done, and hope to God all the things that move fast look great. That was weird. There is one more mission. Sorry, I'll do that one too. Ooh, I can use literally anybody. Someone wanted me to use Ereshkigal, so I'll use Ereshkigal. Lancer Artoria is on a fucking horse, and she is deemed a Lancer. Can you explain that? Well, yeah. I mean, Artoria can ride. Like, she has a riding skill even when she's a Saber. So it makes perfect sense she'd be riding a horse even as a Lancer. But the main thing is obviously her sword and her lance are so freaking iconic that those would immediately define her for who she is. But of course, we also have to admit that sometimes fate doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I have a hard time believing Ushi Wakamatsu is much of a rider, when she is herself as a servant doesn't. She was said to be good enough to ride her horse down a steep cliff to surprise her enemies, so there's that. But she doesn't really look much like a rider. You're painting 41st Millennium? Oh, are you doing Warhammer then? You're doing Warhammer. I had a friend who was into Warhammer a long time ago. What, you got another question? Ask right now. Ask me a question. I will answer before the stream is done. Like, I'm just in chat mode while I'm just kind of casually playing through all this. Do it. There was a horse in the intro.
よ。
If Artoria was a proper servant, would her be the same? Her what be the same? Because apparently she's normally weaker than Reen and Shiro without Mana Burst. That's a tough question, because you'd have to wonder if she had any kind of, like, Mana Bursty type thing, like, even alive.
厳しくいくわ。
待ってました。
任せて。やるわ。
Thoughts on Fate Redline? Sorry, it's pretty. There's not much to think about. Arc Knights looks really fun, and I like the waifu in it. I am very pleased by that. Come on, damn it, I just want Erish Kigal to use her fucking NP. So I'll beat up on the snowman first.
そこ動くな。
Yay! Who do you think is Grand Saber? I don't frickin' know. You would think someone like Musashi would be, because she's like presumably one of the best swords people in history. But there's gotta be someone better, I guess, according to them.
引っ張らないで。いい度胸ね。気に入ったわ。
Is Merlin trapped in Avalon by choice?
死の女神エルシキガルが命じます。
What are the types and how much of a threat are they? That's remains to be seen. I think maybe the Lostbelts, the new ones, are going to talk more about the types, but there's not really much interaction we've had with them. But the types are sort of physical embodiments of the planet's life force, kind of, I guess. It's like a being to represent that planet, or that celestial body, because there's a moon one too. But oh, okay, her Buster buff already did that. Whoopsie. Okay, I'm getting asked a lot of shit. Is he trapped in Avalon by choice? Not really. He has ways of getting out, but he's kind of weird. I'm not entirely sure on that one. What FGO event you would want to see? I don't want them to animate any of the events when they still have, like, the main story to deal with. I would much rather see something like Shinjuku animated. My god, Shinjuku animated would make me so happy.
いいわ。地の底まで落としてあげる。
Why don't I make a video on notes? Because for as interesting as it is, it's kind of not that interesting to me.
これが私の空気がいるからだ。
Don Quixote. Which waifu do you want to see a summer servant that we already haven't had a summer servant of? Part of me would say, like, Summer Penthesilea, but she's basically already in a bikini. He was tricked into there. He was tricked. Presumably by Vivian, the Lady of the Lake, whom he taught Magecraft, and then was unfaithful to, and so she got back at him. That's kind of like the undertext that's not very explicitly stated, but I think it's funny as hell. Okay, so that's it for those. Oh, Medusa hasn't had a summer one? Give Medusa a fucking summer one. She deserves it. At least she gets her bikini in frickin' whatchamacallit, in Hollow Ataraxia. I'm wearing so little. I'm gonna sneeze. Aw, you're so fucking cute. But you make me feel bad when you're like sneezing and shit. A servant shouldn't have to be that. Was that really all the spins I... Oh, right, because it's time to prize reset. I'm like, Jesus, I just grinded that whole thing, and it's like... See, it's this shit that makes my gift list pile up so much.
いいプレ
Gorgon Summer? No, just do regular Medusa. No lollies, no any of that. Notes is interesting, but the fact that it doesn't have any, like, other works, like, Notes is like a little short story that I feel like it would be nice if it were, I don't know, animated, or somebody made a manga, or did something else like that to make it a little more exciting. That's what I mean when I say I'm not that interested in it. It's almost just like a bucket of lore by itself without any of, like, the narrative to back it up. Like, that's how it feels like. Or at least that's the impression I get from the outside. So, that's the reason why I haven't dove fully into it. It's not like I've been, like, slacking off or anything, I've just been prioritizing the Fate stuff more.
いいプレゼントとは
What servants do you want to be more relevant in the story personally? You want Tomoe to be more relevant?
何度も聞く
I think that would be
順番だな
perfectly reasonable. Now, what should I use my limited stuff on? This is probably the last I'll touch
明
of this
快だからっ
event.
て何もないと思った？欲しいものがあれば
But I don't
交換
even
して
know
あ
what
げ
it
る
is
わ
I need to buy. I can't buy any more of the 4-star cards. I'll buy all that I can of you, which was not much.
気持ちのいい交換っぷりね。働き者は嫌いではないのだわ。
I'll buy up you.
気持ちのいい交換っぷ
Nasty
り
ass
ね。
gallstone.
働き者は嫌いではないのだわ。
I was gonna say I want Matahari to be more interested into the story, but she had a pretty good involvement in Salem, so I was pretty happy with that. Honestly, I want regular Artoria, Saber Artoria, to have more involvement. She does nothing in the story. The one time she had a chance to with, you know, frickin' Camelot, it was the Lion King and not her, so... I wish she played a bigger role. I guess that's my real answer, Artoria. Mordred shows up in a lot of the singularities. I don't know why Artoria
交換
can't.
場というのも
Having
面
her
白い
in
わ
the
ね。
summer events was exciting.
今まで冥界にショップとかなかった。クリス。ようこそ。
But see, all of these are just like onesie twosie blazes. These are gonna go fast as soon as I actually get Consort U. Who's my favorite servant? Artoria. Hands down, Artoria. Didn't it drop the thing? I could have... What was it that dropped? Was it further down on this list? Aha, there you are, you little shit. I knew I had one of those. I was just giving it to my Musashi. There you go. Yeah, I'm excited to see Mordred in Lostbelt 3. That shit looks fun. But okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up so I can get back to making more videos. Whoa. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to OtakuDaiKun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and the Holy Waifu Wars. Again, I guess I will be doing Cleopatra's lore tomorrow. Be sure to watch it. And then after that, I hope that you will, well, sorry, never mind, not hope that you will. But the week after that will be Assassin U, who I'm excited to do, as well as streaming the Lostbelt. But I'm still working on all sorts of videos to accompany that. Ooh! Ooh, thank you! Thank you so much! What is that? Eo Vitris. Eo Vitris? Thank you so much. I am indebted. Ooh, and thank you again, Archangel Glenn. I think we need a Summer Astolfo. Summer Astolfo, yeah. He does have a really nice bikini. Waikiki. But yes, now if this stream turns out really good, I'll be doing a lot more live streams of all sorts of different games. Because they actually serve as good archive. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.